Leadership is intentional influence. Yesterday, Bill described how leadership means getting people from A to B. Well, that can't happen unless people change their behavior. And here's the problem. So often we think about leadership just as a motivational aspect. In fact, it's far more than that. Our ability to be effective as leaders isn't just about motivating, it's also about us acquiring competence to do so. Courage is an important component, as Bill described yesterday. Inspiration and vision are essential. But unless that translates to changed behavior, we fail. So what you and I need to be doing if we want to be effective leaders is studying from those who understand influence. Let's take a look at a few. If you want to understand influence, you need to understand how things like this are happening. So human beings spend 3 billion hours playing online games every week. Why? Because whoever's designing those games understands influence. And unless you and I unpack what it is about that activity that is engaging people to the tune of 3 billion hours per week, we won't be able to do our jobs well. Second example, 7 million people in the United States, 1 in 34, are incarcerated or under the supervision of the correctional system. Why? Because influence systems are driving that behavior. We aren't locking more people up today, far more people up today than we did 50 years ago because people are different. It's because the influence environment you and I inhabit has changed profoundly. And unless you and I understand how it's changed and learn to use that in favor of people's positive change, we won't be true leaders. Worldwide obesity, as we know, has doubled since 1980. Now, why are people eating differently? That's a behavior, that's an action. Leadership is intentional influence. And those who want us to eat more, who have economic incentives to do that, have developed wonderful strategies to help this to occur. Well, on a more positive note, smoking rates, at least in the United States, have dropped from 44% to 21% since 2008. Why? That's because there are people who understand influence. If you can cut smoking in half, there must be something for you and I to learn as influencers embedded in that wonderful outcome. So here's the deal. We know how to get people to log in, lock up, eat up, but not light up. We figured out how to do that. And so you and I ought to be taking lessons from this important field of social science because after all, leadership is intentional influence.